So yeah, here we are with the underpinnings for our approach to different countries. Um, we spoke about Denmark, the UK, USA, Jamaica. Now we're going to continue with Belgium. Belgium, our approach is we're going to call it the Chocolate Bridge. But we could say that with Belgium, there has been a connection. I guess the first connection with Belgium in that sense was, oh my God, there's a lot. There's actually a lot with Belgium. But my ex, who was supposed to do the walk with me to begin with in 2010, was going to do the radio show while I did the walking. Was Sister Fire from FM 101. Her father was from Belgium, so that was like the first kind of like Belgian instance. And my sister was married to a Belgian at some point, Sister Rachel. But at the hostel in London, when I started doing this project, presenting it, was a Belgian guy called Ronnie van Langenack, and he's been my lifelong friend, and he's been supporting me throughout the project, sending me money and everything. So that's been the support. And his love for reggae music is immense, So he helps me out with practical things, and he's part of my organization, and his role really is to contact Triodos Bank, one of the ethical banks that was established in 1970, 71, I believe. And that's who we want to bank with when we're talking about the $10 billion plan. So that's the role that we inform them that we have a $10 billion plan for Africa, which is the basis for the CCSR establishment in Malawi and the walk from Cape Town to Cairo, and would like to be able to retain our Africans in Africa to bring down the immigration into Europe. And that's also why we're not going to get a lot of support, because that's a movement from Europe's side to think, okay, how do we strengthen Africans to make sure that Africans retain their people? Same thing with the Denmark. So that brings us to Denmark and Danida and the recommendations by Danida and by Africa experts on the policy for Africa, and which is also the basis for the letter that I wrote to the Prime Minister this time, Prime Minister of Denmark. Okay, so that's the $10 billion plan, and of course I presented that idea of the $10 billion plan to the letter to the Queen, which is the apex of the project presentation, the letter to the Queen, which is now turned, which have to be reviewed now and made the letter to the King, because Frederick is now there. So, having spoken about queens giving space to kings, that happened in the UK as well. So Queen Elizabeth died, and now we have King Charles. And the last thing that King Charles did was to be a guest editor on the Voice newspaper on its 40th anniversary. And that was crucial and important to me, because the editor of The Voice now is the same man who gave me a huge break in terms of getting my organization together in London, which is Lester Holloway. He gave me access to the 1990 Trust, which was established by Lee Jasper, and Lee Jasper was the chairman of the very first a public presentation of the walk from Cape Town to Cairo, which was in 2003. I'm confused now. I think it was 2004 in Chelsea at the Africa Social Forum. So it was very funny. That was before I joined 1990 Trust. Had made that presentation in October 2004. And then by November, I was at the 1990 Trust presenting my idea to walk, and had an article in the New Nation where Lester was a former editor there, but he had started Blink. And then from there, Lester basically took me under, gave me a desk and a computer and phone. I was basically homeless at that time, playing on the streets, but working in an office. It's funny. So I used to work late. Why are you at the office? Oh, a lot of work to do. Blood clot, homeless Rasta. But work had to go on. That's another book. The whole London situation is another book altogether. Man, I've been strong. The Most High kept me strong, man. Rastafari. So we kind of like went round. immigration, Brexit, blah blah, EU $10 billion plan, all that confusion in Europe right now, all of that. What we answer to it is a $10 billion plan, okay? And so Belgium is crucial to that, and Triodos Bank is crucial to that, and the Belgium project comes under the title the Chocolate Bridge, because we are dealing with CCSR, Comprehensive Corporate Social Responsibility, and we know, just like in the issue of coltan, we know that with chocolate, there are immense profits being made off of cocoa, and there's nothing that's even trickling down to our people who are working in the plantations. There is not even health insurance. So many young children die from open sores and those type of things. So we got to stand up for people while we enjoy this beautiful chocolate. We got to know that we got a responsibility towards our people. So that's the Belgian chocolate bridge. Okay. So that was Belgium. Who else do we have? After Belgium, yeah, let's talk about Ethiopia, I guess. His Imperial Majesty, the Ark of the Covenant. In 2007, before I went to really start attempting the walk, my first stop, before I even went to Malawi, my first stop was at the Ark of the Covenant. And I said a prayer there, and it is on video. And so the pilgrimage to Ethiopia, to Aksum, is crucial, and we would like to be allowed to go worship and to give thanks. And if we cannot go, then we would like to really establish collective prayer towards the Ark of the Covenant, because of the promise that God made to David about the Ark and about Israel turning to God at any time, so that the justice and peace and progress of the Most High should be established. So with that, we are writing a letter to the Crown Council in Washington, D.C., to the Royal Highnesses, His Majesty, and presenting the entire course, so that we may be blessed in our work. And so that's Ethiopia. We know that Ethiopia shall stretch forth a hand unto Jah, and that's the work. So the successes of this walk, they have all actually happened because of the prayer that I made at the Ark of the Covenant. So we expect major divine intervention on this mission, and we'd like to call all people to put their sins away and to purify themselves, so that we shall go up to the house of the Lord and worship and welcome His kingdom. In the meantime, we'd like to do what we can within our power. Following the speeches of His Imperial Majesty, he would always say that apart from the kingdom of God, no human government is perfect. It's funny, he always started with that. He always spoke of the kingdom of God first, and then began speaking about what his government would try to do to take care of the issues facing Ethiopia. And we follow in his fashion. We are Rastafari. We are his children, and we must establish his ways, because they're already established, so we would like to glorify in what he has established already. So that would be Ethiopia. I think that's it in terms of the country perspectives. Oh, there is South Africa. South Africa, of course, is crucial. So much has happened in South Africa. South Africa is a golden country, which, if only we could establish land value taxation in South Africa, we would resolve a lot of the conflict. that dominates the political rivalry in South Africa. We would take the sting out of every argument, whether it's the white argument or the black argument. We need to be global. We need to look forward. We need to be one human race. And South Africa had the best constitution in the world. The only problem is that it did not have the economic equivalent to assist it, which is the land value taxation. And so establishing that in South Africa for the sake of peace and also for the safety of our people from Malawi, because we know many people are being victims of xenophobia. That is our stance on South Africa. Apart from that, we're thinking about soup kitchens and whatever we can do to activate the platform's public participation to intensify the velocity of exchange within the quantity theory of money based on land value taxation. I'd like to thank my South African family for taking care of me in Knysna, Sister Carrie, Brother Maxi, Gaston, Sevens, Twaki, all the brothers really, Judah. So Judah Square, I love you, I miss you. I would love to see you all again. And everybody from Philippi, Swellendam, all the places where I walked, right up to Jeffreys Bay. The black, the white, the Indian, the so-called coloreds, the Khoi, Botrefier, Hermanus, George, Wilderness, Sedgefield, Platte Bay, Harkville. There's so many stories to tell from my experience there. And it was fantastic. And of course, the backpackers. Man. I will make a book and I will name all of you. And I'll go check my Facebook. And it'll be a great story. And I will do it promptly because we have to raise the 3 million for my return to Malawi. And would like to establish a space for you in Malawi to come visit me because you were so kind with your hospitality in South Africa. I'd like for you to come to Malawi and I'd like to establish a place where I can return to the hospitality that you showed me. And that goes for all the people around the world who showed me such great kindness, including Urban House and Steel House here in Denmark. I want to go home and establish my home so that I can receive you. All right? So, one love, Rastafari, and thank you for your support. Much love. See you in Malawi in December. One love.